fuck this, fuck this shit, fuck, we're all having fun.
Oh no, Reese is going.
This is so special. Nah.
Are we all good?
I believe we are.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, go. Welcome back to 97.1 WQRZ The Mist. And today on our advert break, we're going to be doing a Song Exploder podcast. Today I'm joined with Brandon Shepherd.
Hello.
And Felix Houghton.
Yeah, right.
So, I've gathered you here today, boys, because we're going to be talking about a very, very good song among the youths of our generation. You may have heard of it. It is General Levy's Jungle is Massive. You may have heard of it.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
Well, I'm glad you boys are familiar with this age-old classic, quite frankly.
Splendid choice.
Yeah, so I've chosen this song because it honestly is it's a wonderful song. There's so many things to talk about, you know, the history of the song, the history of the artist in general, really. There's many factors we can go on about. Exactly. And I was wondering if I could ask you boys a few questions. You know, we'll waffle a bit, and it'll be a good time. Well, that's good then, because we're just here to talk about the song at the end of the day. So I'm going to ask you boys: do you guys know anything about the song? Have you heard of this song before?
Well, I've heard it twice, and it was from watching Ali G in the house. I've never actually listened to the song on its own.
Well, I think that's honestly a great thing to. It's a great film, really. That song really complements that scene in the film.
It does. I have to say, yeah.
Now, Felix, do you know anything about the song or the artist?
Yeah, I'm familiar. You know, I've listened to it from time to time. It's age old. It's just a good song, more or less. I think that just sort of sums up. It's banger, lad.
It is a banger. Well said. Well put.
Okay.
So,
pinger.
So we all know that Jungle is Massive was a single. It was not included in the album. And yeah, I think honestly that song, I think it really took away General Levy's career. You know, it really skyrocketed. I think he started getting noticed after the Ali G in the house and after Jungle is Massive.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's done some other good works as well, but I would say that's probably his most notable.
I think so.
What other songs has he done?
Well, he's got the choo choo train, like a train or something. I'm not sure the exact name of the song. That absolutely belted out. Another classic.
Yeah. I haven't heard any of his songs.
Another one. Got like The General. That's another good one. And I think he's done some stuff with Ed Solo and other artists. Sort of focus more on
there we go.
Drum and bass side of things. So he's done some good stuff, some good work. He's got quite the portfolio. And I think Incredible, it really stands out from most of the other songs as well. So.
Well, I think this song means quite a lot to me because when I first heard of it was in Ali G, same as you, Brandon.
Yeah, I think like many people.
Like a lot of people, that is the first time we heard of it.
Yeah.
Is honestly that one scene in Ali G where the song's playing. It fits so perfectly for the film.
Yeah. I agree. But
if you ask me, I think people more focus on the Ali G side of it and not the actual song itself. And people focus more on the... It's kind of seen as a joke song, not an actual song, which I think is quite... I'd see it as a general, like, a nice song.
Yeah.
And not as just like a satire parody.
I mean, I think it plays both parts quite well. I think.
Yeah, it has a nice balance.
It's a good tune, and it's also, it sort of gives you a nice little grin as well.
Exactly, you get the best of both worlds.
Best of both worlds, exactly.
You know, you can take it seriously, or you can just go, "Oh, here's a joke song." You can chuckle about it. Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, I've researched it, and this song has a key of A minor, predominantly using the notes A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. So it has no flats or sharps, which is quite peculiar for a song like that. No flats or sharps.
I suppose, yeah. I mean, nice and simple, just all the white notes.
Yeah, honestly, it is. I think that's the good thing. It's the simplicity of it. It's not complex at all. And I've also noticed that another not even very popular, I don't know why, is a very good song. S31 Crude. You may have heard of it.
Yeah, I'm
might.
familiar.
Yeah, I think Felix, you've probably got the most knowledge on S31 Crude.
You know,
Can
yeah.
you see the similarities between Jungler's Massive and S31 Crude?
I suppose, yeah, they both sort of focus on a slightly higher tempo range, you know. So there's a few similarities. Yeah.
Honestly, I'd say it's almost uncanny. Felix, does the song
Yeah.
General Levy, Jungler's Massive, does it remind you of anything specific?
I mean, I can't say it does. It's more of like just like a general banger, if you will, I suppose. But it does remind me of the sort of jungle scene and the whole sort of underground rave scene within the UK. I suppose, particularly from back in the day. I wasn't there to experience it, but
Yeah.
I don't know, it still reminds me
I
of it.
think what it reminds me of is a
Yeah.
field. Just a random field
Yeah.
with some big speakers. I think that's what it reminds
Yeah,
me of
yeah.
the most.
I can see that. I can see that. Yeah.
Maybe like 9, 10 p.m. Everyone's like, let's say you got 30
Yeah, nice
people in the
crisp
field.
evening.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everyone's there. There's drugs, there's alcohol, there's the whole
Wow,
box of frogs.
Yeah.
Fire.
If
You need a big fire.
Oh yeah, a massive bonfire, and just having this song really, it makes me nostalgic for a thing I've never had.
Exactly. I think that is essentially something that they try to intentionally convey there. Maybe.
I think it might be.
Maybe.
You know,
yeah.
what I like the most, I think, out of, well, not the most, but I really think his Jamaican accent.
It's wonderful. Yeah.
Honestly.
It's very uplifting.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
very uplifting, I'd say.
The sound of like the instrumental, it really just gets you in the mood
It
to
is.
want
It
to.
is.
It makes you want to move. It makes
Yeah. Yeah.
honestly, it gives me the
It's
urge to
upbeat.
just start dancing.
It's cheery. It's upbeat and cheery, and you know, you've got to love it. You've got to love it. Yeah.
Yeah, because I think it plays at a very, I'd say it plays at a pretty fast BPM, 166
Yeah.
BPM,
Yeah, around 160.
166 roughly is what it plays at. Yeah,
Yeah.
I say this is it's not a very typical mainstream song. I
Oh,
think.
it isn't. It did evolve from the sort of the underground rave scene, if you will.
And I can't
Yeah.
can't say you'd really hear it outside of the UK anyway.
No, definitely
yeah.
not. It's a very
Yeah, I think-
UK based song.
Yeah, well, it's got its roots back in the Caribbean, I believe. You know, when the Windrush generation, it's like they've popped over, and it's like the generation after when all their little sons and their little daughters, they're all mingling with the working class British, and then they bring over their whole sound systems and whatnot from Jamaica, and the British, and they sort of merge, and you end up with just
Yeah.
dirty tunes. Left,
Honestly,
right, and
it is a
centre.
beautiful tune.
Yeah.
Now, we touched on this before, but I'm going to touch back on it. S31 Crude. It's a very similar song to General Levy,
Striking
Jungler's
it,
Massive.
yeah.
But I say these songs differ because they're exactly the same but completely different at the same time. You know,
Yeah,
because you've got Jungler's Massive, where it is obviously it's still a drum and bass. It's still got like drum and bass roots there. It hasn't differed that far. But we see in Jungler's Massive there's lyrics, there's all these ad libs, and all these backing tracks and counter melodies. S31 Crude. Now, S31 Crude is a fairly simple song, I'd say.
Not much to it.
But nonetheless,
agree with
I
you
think simplicity is a lot better than being over complex and not sounding alright. But it looks good, you know.
It still has the same feel as Jungler's Massive, and that's
Yeah.
what I like about it.
I really enjoy S31 Crude, especially the whole vibe it gives. It could bring very similar vibes to Jungler's Massive. I could see myself in a field dancing to
Yeah.
S31.
Yeah.
It makes me
100%.
makes me want to be more. That I
Yeah.
could listen to this and go off on a big adventure and make something of myself. That's what I feel when I listen to S31 Crude.
Yeah, the soothing vocals for me. That's what did it. And
Yeah, they are
I
some
think
good vocals.
the sort of sound selection with some of the samples. Yeah.
Now, I want to touch about. I think it's roughly in the middle of the song. The song has a change of pace. It gets a bit quieter, and it changes to one drumming track, and it builds up slowly and slowly and slowly until you get to right to the climax, and then it all drops again. And that part of the song, honestly, I could see myself hurting myself to that part, so just from the head banging, because those, I think just that little stage where it's all it's at the peak, it's going really swell, and then it stops, and everything, what's happening here then? And then you hear it, it's coming back in. It's starting to go up. It's starting to raise. It's starting to raise, and then you get to the climax again. And it's almost like the enjoyment doubles.
Yeah, of course.
It's great, and it really reminds me of. It reminds me of life, how like it's all like towards the start, it's all good and everything, and then it slowly just goes down.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, it's just bang! It's back.
There's always light at the end of the tunnel.
There is, exactly. That's what I'm getting at.
Now, the song. Some would say it's repetitive. I would say...
I disagree, yeah.
I'd say I can see where they're coming from. But at the end of the day, it's a drum and bass.
Yeah, there's a general motif, but I think it does sort of evolve and change over time.
Yeah. It has nice contingencies to it.
Exactly.
I don't think it matters if it's repetitive. It's not really a song that has meaning. I think it's just more of a thing to get you pumped. I
don't know. I beg to differ. I think, it could mean a lot to some people.
What if it has a deeper meaning that we're not?
It could, exactly. Yeah.
We just haven't seen it yet.
I mean, if you listen to some of the lyrics, it's like wicked. Jungle is massive. It's like,
which jungle? There's a lot of jungles.
Exactly. There is.
Some of them are pretty massive.
Yeah.
There are a few large jungles.
It could be the genre, but then it also may be referring to sort of ancestry.
It could be.
You just don't know,
It could be saying about deforestation, how the jungle was massive, and it's saying the jungle is massive.
Exactly. It could.
And, because of all these modern technologies and having to cut down the forest, he's trying to refer back to when it was massive.
He truly was an artist ahead of his time.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, I think he was.
First they laugh, then they join. He was really the first.
That's what I say.
He really was the first of his kind.
Pioneer.
Everyone copied him after that.
Well, yeah. I think as well, you can also see the influences from his environment. But he did sort of put his own spin on that, and I think he certainly sort of. I don't know. He's. Well, I've had a bit of a mind blank.
Yeah, that's fine.
He persuaded other people, if you will. He inspired others.
I completely agree. I feel like this song is what gave birth to songs such as In the Jungle,
In the Jungle,
and
exactly.
don't forget, Welcome to the Jungle by Guns N' Roses.
There we go.
Exactly.
I can see the similarities already. Just thinking about it in my head.
Yeah.
Now,
he walked so that they could run.
Exactly, he really laid the foundations for other people.
Yeah.
I can see the influence that he could bring. Now, I'd say that the song is fairly catchy.
I would agree with you there. I think that the sort of driving 808 bass line, because he was sort of using the 808 before hip hop really took it. I think that sort of driving 808 bass line, along with the constant, the relentless drum groove. It's got a nice little melody, and then to top it off, General Levy's vocal performance. It's just
it's like it'll get stuck in your head, but you want it to be there.
Yeah, I think that's where it gets a lot of its attention from. I think that's where a lot of it. That's kind of where it blew up, which is because it was so catchy. People have seen it on Ali G, or maybe they've seen it from the BBC. People from all over the places, from different corners of fields, they can see it. And they'll listen to that and go, it's maybe one of you hear a song on the radio in the car, and you're like, oh wow, that was. You want to go home and put it back on again.
Quite the experience, yeah. What was that?
Yeah, and, always like, oh, I'll get out in a minute and we just finish the song because it's so catchy.
Yeah, you're shuffling about trying to get the old Shazam out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like, I think, like you said, like the bass line, the 808s, it really it's so catchy, but it's a good catchy. You want it there. Now, the lyrics. Where do we start? Quite frankly, the lyrics for this song.
A lot to get through. Yeah.
There's, to be honest, the lyrics really, they're there. You know they're there. You can hear them in your head, but you can't really tell what he's saying. Which I think I like that Mysterio.
I suppose, yeah, yeah.
because I think it might be the the thick Jamaican accent that he uses,
Yeah.
and the way the Jamaicans speak. I'm not, I'm not being prejudiced or discriminating, but they do speak their English a lot more different.
Put a spin on it. I think that's very welcome. Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
not like it's a bad thing. I think
Yeah, it's a great thing. It's honestly an amazing thing. Like, if we look through the lyrics here, he said, "I spin them like a windmill." Now this could mean a lot of things.
That's witty.
Yeah. It's a play on word. Spin, windmill.
Pun there.
Is he spinning them like he could be punching someone, and the force of his punches it spun them around? He knocked them out. They're seeing stars. Or
That's
when he walks past, people got their eyes glued on him. Their heads are spinning like a windmill. They're like, he's a celebrity. Whereas you don't know what he's trying to say. There's a lot of meanings for these lyrics here.
There is.
And then he also says in the first verse, "Guan tell them we got the skill."
Yeah, he said that.
He has got the skill.
He's got the skill.
Yeah.
He's sort of he's up in the crowd. He's sort of getting them amped up. If you I think he's got the skill, and he's loud and he's proud, and
it gets the people going.
It does.
If you're pinged off your head in a field, listen to you don't know what he said, but you love the way he says it. You have no clue what he's saying. To you, it sounds like a foreign language, but for your ears, it sounds so nice with the song. It goes so well.
Foreign but familiar, I may add, because I think even if you look at a lot of British slang, it has its roots as well.
Yeah.
Back from Jamaica and all that.
Yeah, like Wagwan,
what's it called?
Rascalot,
and
Bossy Bop. All of these go back to Jamaica.
Atty Boy.
Exactly.
Another classic.
And it really just shows how he walked so we could run. He really laid the foundations down for other people.
I think he did.
Verbally, musically. Now, the location. Where was it recorded? I believe it was Jamaica.
I'll be honest, I couldn't tell you.
I know he originates from Jamaica.
I'm thinking Jamaica or the UK.
I don't know if it was recorded in Jamaica though. It might have been. It
fully could have been.
But I reckon it was more UK because that's where the jungle scene was thriving in the UK.
It was
and
thriving back then.
Yeah.
So, it was written. Well, he wrote the piece, General Levi.
He did.
And about 20 years ago, this song is a fairly old song, but that doesn't take away how good it is. The quality is still there.
It stood the test of time.
Now, time to wrap it up. This song, honestly, for me, is very sentimental to me. I really enjoy this song. It means a lot.
I think a lot of people would agree.
Yeah. Because,
Really
for me, when I hear this song come on, I go, oh, I know that song. But then it hits me and I go, oh, wow, I'm getting into it now. I could be in an awful mood, a foul mood, and just listening to the vocals. Really, I think it's the vocals.
Stinky, hot passion in his voice.
Yeah,
it's very up.
It really does get you going. And I think that's what that means a lot. Means a lot to a lot of people.
I think so.
Now, Jungle's Massacre. You said earlier it was one of the first of its kind for a song that came out in 1994. Now,
I believe so. Yeah.
It's very early jungle scene, and I think it did influence a lot of future songs to come out.
Yeah, I suppose, yeah. I think it came at the right time. The jungle scene was starting to become established. It wasn't mainstream, and it was definitely one of the first jungle songs to actually get into the UK charts.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think it was the first or one of the first songs, and it really revolutionized the jungle scene.
Yeah, exactly. I think it did. It made it popular. It made it sort of accessible. And without that sort of accessibility, I don't think we'd have half the songs that we have today.
If it wasn't for General Levy.
More or less, yeah. And so we've got the man to thank.
Yeah, and it also plays a huge part for Ali G. Ali G is a classic British comedy. It's classic. It's timeless.
Absolutely timeless. Yeah.
And I think the song in Ali G, for the whole aesthetic and vibe that Ali G in the house is going for, it honestly, it fits it more than perfectly.
It's the cherry on the cake.
It really is.
Man loves
It tops it off, you know.
It honestly is exquisite.
Man loves his jungle, and what better track?
Yeah.
Yeah.